Mac Jones is going home. Mac Jones has been traded to his hometown Jacksonville Jags for a 6th round pick in this year's NFL draft. On the surface, a lot of people will wonder why Jacksonville. This doesn't really make sense. Okay, it's his hometown, but that doesn't really make sense. That's at least what a lot of NFL fans will say. But when you dive a little bit deeper, it makes all the sense in the world. First of all, from New England's perspective, of course, I'm a Patriots fan. You guys know that. Many of you watching this are probably a Patriots fan because you watch this channel. You know that we've had a history with Mac Jones. And I thought Mac Jones was the guy from day one when they drafted him 15th overall. You may have not thought that. But I was high on Mac Jones coming out of Alabama. I was proven correct in his rookie season that he was a pretty good young player right away. He was able to get the Patriots to the playoffs as a rookie, which is something that is not very easy to do. He was an alternate for the Pro Bowl. He made the NFL Top 100 list. Everything looked great. It looked like New England had their next guy after Tom Brady with 1 year of Cam Newton in between. Everything was great. And then year 2 and year 3 happened. And off the field issues in terms of the coach and the quarterback relationship, Mac Jones calling Alabama for some help with the offense, Mac Jones throwing fits on the sidelines, not appearing to be the leader that they thought he was, disagreement in terms of how the offense was operating. Not enough supporting Mac Jones, clearly, when it comes to wide receiver or offensive line or team in general. And it was a disaster in New England in year 2 and year 3 of Mac Jones' career. After year 1, everything worked. Josh McDaniels was calling the plays. But then all of a sudden, they go to Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. Destroyed him. His confidence went with it. And Mac Jones was never the same player. He was turnover prone. He wasn't the same savvy, smart quarterback at the line of scrimmage. He wasn't the good decision maker. He wasn't the mechanical accuracy genius that he was at Alabama. And all of a sudden, everything started to unravel. His mechanics, not as good. His play under pressure, horrible. Turnovers in inopportune times, every single time. So a lot went wrong. And the relationship between Mac Jones and the fan base was sour really from the middle of year 2 till the end of his stint in New England. And he doesn't even play out his rookie contract, which is sad. I think this is a situation where a lot of things went wrong. Mac Jones didn't play up to his potential, but they did not help him in any way, shape, or form after the first season. They spent a little bit of money in the free agency the first year to prop up the team. He went through a competition with Cam. He was clearly the better guy. And then in year 2 and year 3, they just forgot to develop their young quarterback, and they didn't know how, and they didn't know how to support him. And the more tape that came out, the more it appeared that Mac, with limited mobility, limited arm strength, just a limited physical specimen. And confidence is a big thing for quarterbacks, especially guys that need that confidence because they don't have the physical tools to overcome bad play around them. And it was very bad in New England. So a lot went wrong for him. So why does he go to Jacksonville? Well, for Mac, it's a chance to go back home. For Mac, it's a chance to reset. Have a season where he's clearly the backup. Trevor Lawrence is the starter. He's the franchise quarterback of the Jags. He was a first overall pick in the same draft as Mac Jones. He was the prince that was promised. And Mac was the 15th overall pick, the 5th quarterback selected in the same draft class. Not 4th, not 3rd, not 2nd, 5th, okay? Mac goes back home with his family, ability to reset his career, work on his mechanics, work on his game, be in the background, no pressure. That is good for Mac Jones, for his personal career. And I like that New England sent him somewhere where he could be a backup and wasn't thrusted into replacing Kirk Cousins as the Vikings starter, into Denver, a terrible situation coming off the Russell Wilson contract, into somewhere where he had to play right away. I wanted him to go to LA and behind Stafford. I wanted him to go to San Francisco with Shanahan behind Purdy. I wanted him to go somewhere like Jacksonville. A quarterback offensive coach, Doug Pederson, former NFL quarterback, Doug Pederson, former head coach of a Super Bowl team, a quarterback and offensive first guy. Understanding, creative, fun, good vibe, good nature. Totally different from Bill Belichick. So that's great. I think that will help Mac. Mac is a joyful, fun-spirited guy. And Jags fans will like Mac, I think. And I know that Trevor Lawrence and Mac know each other. I know that they spent a lot of their up-and-coming football years, I think, at football camps and things of that nature together. So I think they have a good relationship. And I think this also helps motivate Trevor Lawrence. This is a former first-round pick that's coming in that I know. I've seen him in college. I've been to camps with him. I've seen him play. Like, at times, Mac's been a very good player. So that relationship will, in a way, motivate Lawrence to make sure that he is always on his A game. Because Doug Pederson, we've seen him turn away from quarterbacks before. We've seen him pivot. We've seen him, with backups, win. And that's why this makes all the sense in the world. This is a potential backup quarterback that's had success as a starter, that's just gone through some stuff. And now in a more functional, rhythm-based offense with a lot of RPO-centric stuff, where Mac Jones was very good with that at Alabama. Just get the ball to the playmaker. Accurate, on time. Mac is his new Nick Foles. This is a guy that had Carson Wentz, MVP season, as a head coach, running the ship. Near MVP season, I should say. He gets hurt. Nick Foles comes in. They win a Super Bowl with a backup. And he comes from Philadelphia. He comes from the Andy Reid tree, a place where they always want backups. They always want guys that can come in and play. They always want to have that insurance. And Trevor Lawrence has been injured. Last year, he got hurt. Last year, the reason they missed the playoffs is because they did not have a backup quarterback that could come in and play. Mac at least gives them a chance, right? If Trevor gets hurt again, we've got a guy that's played in the NFL. We've got a guy that can come in and execute. Former first-round pick. So not only is this good for Mac to develop and to get better and to reset, but it's also good for Lawrence. It's good for Doug Pederson. It's good for the team. It's good for the floor of the team in 2024. Now, when you're talking about his contract, he's making less than $5 million, which is very affordable for a high-end backup. He's making $4.9 million, right? But after this year, it's the fifth-year option, which is far too expensive, and it's a long-term extension. So this is probably going to be a one-year stint in Jacksonville, his hometown. It's going to be a one-year deal where he goes in, he plays the backup role. If he plays, he plays. But if he doesn't, he just gets to learn. He gets to reset. He gets to go somewhere potentially next year for long-term or to compete for a job, right? And that's good for Mac. That's also good for the Jags. We get to see what we have here in Mac Jones. Maybe we like it, maybe we don't. We get to say to Trevor Lawrence, hey, Trevor, if you don't play that well, we've got this other former first-round pick that you know that he's from Jacksonville. Like, the fan base would be fine with him. You know, if we don't sign you and you get hurt again, or you play like crap, or you underwhelm, or I've been saying Trevor Lawrence a little bit overrated, right? I have been saying that. And if he doesn't fulfill playing at an elite level or a very good level, we might not sign you to a ludicrous contract because his contract's almost up. We might just roll with Mac Jones. Right? At least we have a year in the system where we could just turn it over with Mac Jones. Like, my system's good enough here, Doug Pederson could say. So it gives them leverage in contract negotiations as well, potentially. Not saying it's much, but it's enough to have Trevor Lawrence like, oh, okay, like maybe I should take a little bit less or whatever, right? So there's that as well. And it also gives them an alternative to go cheap at the position if they want to reset, even as a bridge option for the future years. So there's a lot of reasons this makes sense. It was clearly going to happen. If you're a Patriots fan and you're shocked, you shouldn't be. It was clearly going to happen. It's a culture reset. It's a team reset in New England. They're going with a new quarterback, whether it be a veteran or a rookie, or both. They're going with a new quarterback. This is no longer Bill Belichick's team. This is a new era. All of that had to be definitive with Mac Jones leaving. There's too many bad vibes with the fan base and Mac, with Mac and the fan base, with the team, with the media. It's just too much there. It's too much drama, too much baggage to not move on from. It was a mistake in terms of the last 2 years in New England. It was a great rookie, fun ride. But after that, it was a disaster. It was tough to watch. Now, Mac Jones, in terms of his career so far, 10-7 as a rookie quarterback with a good season of 67.6 completion percentage, 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns to 13 picks, a 92.5 passer rating. That gave them a playoff berth. After that, right, Matt Patricia calling the plays. Still high completion percentages of 65 and 64. He had 14 touchdowns to 11 picks in year 2 with 2,900 yards. This was in 14 games. He went 6-8 as a starter. Not bad. Had some good games in that stretch. The last game against Buffalo was good. The game against Minnesota was good. He still had good games throughout the last couple of seasons, but it's been few and far between. Last year, 10 touchdowns to 12 picks. The interceptions were a problem last year, for sure. 2-9 as a starter. The offense was a disaster. Offensive line, receiving corps, disaster. Mac was not good. And, by far his worst season. But he's 18-24 as a starter. Trevor Lawrence is 20-30. Okay? So, it's interesting. It's also interesting that he's gotten traded before Justin Fields got traded. That's also really interesting to me. Because Mac has won more games than Justin Fields. Mac has played better than Justin Fields for a majority of his career. Fields has more tools. Fields has more potential. But Mac has proven more so far, which is also interesting to see what the market for Fields will be. Which, if it's a 6th for Mac, might be a 5th or a 4th for Fields. It's not going to be much. Yeah, he has more potential, so maybe you get a little bit more, but you're not getting a 2nd. You might not even get a 3rd. So that's interesting to me. But Mac's 25. He's going to be 26 in September. He's still very young. And he's got plenty of time to turn this thing around. So I wish him the best of luck. I like Mac. I always will have that admiration for that offseason where I studied him coming out of Alabama, him getting drafted by my favorite team, and then him having a great rookie season, and me thinking that he was the prince that was promised for the Patriots. He clearly wasn't. Clearly didn't work. For whatever reason. Past is the past. But I hope that he has a great time in Jacksonville this year, and I hope he does well. And I won't be shocked if he ends up playing a game or two for Jacksonville and they end up winning those games. Because I think Mac can play a little bit still. And I think he was put through the ringer in New England. And I think he needs to reset. And I look forward to his future in the NFL. But Jags fans, you should be happy about this move. This gives you a good backup in a situation where you need one. If you're going to win the AFC South, you can't be rolling out CJ Beathard. So, yeah, Mac Jones to the Jags. Crazy. Didn't see it coming, but I love it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Gronk, spike the like button, and we'll see you soon. Peace.